Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. From Whitaker Bank Ballpark, this is the Battle of the Bourbon Trail postseason. Hello again, everybody. Andrew Murphy bringing you Legends versus Leyendas one last time in this 7-inning exhibition game to wrap things up before heading to the championship series tomorrow in Florence. As I mentioned, the Legends and Leyendas will be playing a 7-inning game here at Whitaker Bank Ballpark in one final stash showdown. And there are a couple changes, especially in the lineups. We've added an extra batter tonight, so there will be 10 hitters, along with a few extra surprises possibly during the game. Let's get your starting lineups for the visiting Leyendas de Lexington. Leading off and in center field is Cole Sturgeon. Batting second, the second baseman Luke Becker. Batting third, the DH Drew Ellis. Batting fourth, the first baseman Webb Little. Batting fifth and at third base, Sam Claycamp. Sam Little batting sixth and in right. Duran Elmore bats seventh and is in left field. Colin Luty, the shortstop, bats eighth. Ronnie Engelman is the second designated hitter on the night. And rounding things out for the Leyendas in the 10th spot is the catcher Bobby Crisp. Around the field for the Lexington Legends from left to right in the outfield. Nick Akins in left. Ben Revere in center. Eric Young Jr. in right. Now around the horn from third to first, Ivan DeJesus Jr. at the hot corner, Devon Hairston at short, Brandon Phillips at second, and Peter Bocchino will start at first base. Dalton Cornett taking balls and strikes behind the plate for tonight's Legends starter. That's the righty Aaron McGeorge. 5'11", 170 pounds, the 23-year-old out of Lexington, Kentucky. Attended Henry Clay High School and was a graduate of the 2016 class there. He went on to play at the University of Kentucky, but then transferred to Oklahoma City University. In his last appearance on September 9th at Florence versus the Yalls, he pitched 5 innings, giving up 8 hits, 5 runs, all of which were earned. He walked 1 batter and struck out 2, and his season totals read 26 2/3 innings, 33 hits, 17 runs, 15 of them earned, 6 walks and 21 strikeouts. Great ratio there. He's posted an ERA of 5.06, and he's 1-1 on the season. And so as we get things underway, the lights come on here at Whitaker Bank Ballpark as the sun begins to set. For one final time, it's Legends versus Leyendas. And up to bat in the leadoff spot for the Leyendas is Cole Sturgeon, the center fielder. McGeorge working from straight away, ready to deal the first pitch. Righty-lefty matchup. And here it is. First one of the game taken outside for a ball. 6:55, the official start time of tonight's contest. And it's a ball and no strikes to Sturgeon. Now the pitch. This is blasted in the air down the right field line, but foul over the party deck. The Legends are wearing their classic home uniforms with the white jerseys and pants, the blue lettering and numbers, and of course the green mustache caps. 1 ball and 1 strike to the lefty Cole Sturgeon. The pitch. There's a ground ball, rolls into right field. Sturgeon leads things off with a single. The Leyendas are donned in their home uniforms as well. The white front and back with the pink letters and numbers. The aquamarine shoulders running into the sleeves. And of course the aquamarine and white sugar skull caps that have been quite popular ever since their inception last year. The year before, when the Copa initiative was announced by minor league baseball, the sugar skull caps looked a little different. It was just a solid blue cap. First pitch to Becker, taken for a strike, down low, 0-1. So nobody out, Sturgeon on first base. He takes a short lead. Bocchino's there to cover. McGeorge working from the stretch now, and he deals the 0-1. Swing and a miss on a slider inside and low. Quickly 0-2 to Becker. Becker coming into tonight's contest batting .306. He was 1 for 5 on the 13th versus the Legends with an RBI. 0-2. Tried to double up on the slider low and in, but missed as Dalton Cornett shifted to his right, and the count moves to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Still no score here in the top of the first inning. Sturgeon takes a lead off the first base bag. Luke Becker, the former UK Wildcat and San Diego Padres prospect, blasts one in the gap to the right side. It rolls into right field. Sturgeon is aboard at second base, and Becker has the second hit of the night for the Leyendas. Luke Becker he's been near the top of the leaderboards. In fact, I believe he's been at the top of the leaderboards. Yes. No, just one behind Cole Cottom coming into this game. Cole Cottom with 35 on the season. And now Becker ties him up at the top. 35 hits apiece on that single to right field. Here's Drew Ellis, the designated hitter. Ellis takes down low for a called strike one. Ellis was a part of last night's Battle of the Bourbon Trail Home Run Derby. He faced Brandon Phillips in the championship round and hit 19 home runs. Brandon Phillips with 20. It was a very close matchup. Check swung on one low and away. Did he go? Umpire in the field says no, sir. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Still nobody out with 2 men on the bags. We've got a couple of promotions happening tonight. It is, of course, Thursday, which means 2 things. Pepsi Bark in the Park night. I see a few dogs out in the crowd this evening. 1-1. Just a bit outside, taken for ball 2. So Bark in the Park night sponsored by Pepsi. It's also Thirsty Thursday, sponsored by our friends at Lexington Brewing and Distilling Company. $2 domestic cans and $3 Kentucky Ale products. 2-1 to Ellis. Slow moving curveball found the inner half of the zone, and the count evens up at 2-2. So Ellis's performance in the home run derby last night is even more evidence of his power hitting abilities, but during the regular season in this Battle of the Bourbon Trail, he's hit 9 home runs. There's a ground ball to left side past the reaching glove of Hairston. Sturgeon's in at third, Becker's in at second, and Ellis singles to left field to load up the bases with nobody out here in the first. Ellis swung on that 2-2 pitch. He's certainly a patient hitter. He's got a lot of discipline at the plate. Doesn't always wait for his pitch per se, but more so the pitch that makes sense given the situation, as the first one's taken down low for a ball. Webb Little, the first baseman at the plate. And so, exuding a little patience on a 2-2 count, Ellis found one that he could work with to load up the bases. There's another ball down low to Little. It's 2-0. Still nobody out and no score here in the top of the first. That may change very soon, though. Lefty-righty matchup, 2-0 to Little. Misses in the dirt. It's a hitter's 3-0 count as Cornet emerges from behind the dish. So yes, last night was the home run derby here in the Battle of the Bourbon Trail. It was a fantastic evening. Lots of folks showed out to watch some home runs fly. And they certainly did. A lot of them over the left field bleachers. I was talking to Robbie Rowland, who was the MC last night, and I was telling him, feel bad for whoever has to pick those up back there, as this one's popped up behind home plate. Cornet heading back to the backstop. And it's a foul ball. So the count moves to 3-1 as Little popped that up. A needed pitch indeed by Aaron McGeorge, who's given up three straight singles to begin his outing here tonight. The 3-1. That's taken high for ball 4. It's a 4-pitch walk to Webb Little, and Cole Sturgeon will jog it out to home plate to score the first run of the game. It's 1-0 Leyendas. So not a fantastic start here by any means for Aaron McGeorge. Still nobody out and the bases loaded. Here's Sam Claycamp. He grounds one to the left side. DeJesus Jr. reaches near the line and throws to home plate in time to retire Luke Becker. And we have one away. Smart play by DeJesus Jr., who picked up the ball near the line. He had a direct path to home plate. He got the throw there in plenty of time. Cornett was there to cover. And so another run is prevented from scoring. Claycamp advances to first on the fielder's choice, as does Webb Little to second and Drew Ellis to third. Luke Becker called out on the 5-2. So here's Sam Little. Takes a curveball low and in for ball one. Sam Little, brother of Webb Little, who's on second base. The twins are from Fayetteville, New York, and played baseball at Ithaca College for 4 years. 1-0. That's taken on the outer half for a called strike one. It's a ball and a strike. Sam Little, 6'3", 190 pounds. He takes one, an off-speed pitch, low and in, now 2 balls and a strike. A lot of these matchups for McGeorge have begun with him getting behind in the count on the first pitch, which is never something you want to do, as this is fouled off. So it's 2 balls and 2 strikes now. 1-0 Leyendas here in the top of the first. With one away, Luke Becker was called out on the 5-2 to prevent a second run from scoring. Great defense by the Legends. 2-2. Slider taken low and in, and the count fills up at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Greetings and well wishes to Brenda Gillum, who's watching from Middletown, Ohio. Thank you, Brenda, for tuning in. Payoff, swing and a miss on a low fastball. Little bats the breeze. First strikeout on the night for Aaron McGeorge, and 2 gone now here in the top of the first. So that'll bring up the righty Duran Elmore. McGeorge might get a break here, as this is only the second right-handed hitter he faces, and he'll deal one low and away. 1 ball, no strikes. Again, McGeorge delivering a ball on the first pitch. It's extremely important for him to get a strike here, especially with the bases loaded, at least even things up. That one catches the outer half of the zone. Good location on the fastball there. Will even it up at a ball and a strike. In those situations, it's common to expect the fastballs. It's the most controllable pitch, and the breaker curveball, it looked like, missed the zone inside. Now 2 balls and a strike. Elmore played on the 13th versus the Legends here at Whitaker Bank Ballpark, going 0 for 4 with a walk and 2 strikeouts, 2-1. Taken outside, Cornett tried to frame it back in the zone as he was set up relatively close to where the pitch crossed home plate. The home plate umpire didn't give it to him, and it's 3 balls and a strike to Elmore. Elmore, the native of Danville, Kentucky, batting in close in a straightaway stance toward home plate. He'll give him that one on the outer half. A fastball at 90 miles an hour, pulled back in by Cornett, and the count is full at 3-2. 2 gone, 1-0 Leyendas here in the top of the first inning with ducks on the pond. McGeorge taking his time on a sign from Cornett, now comes set in the stretch. He's got his front foot staggered with his back, and there's ball 4 to the out. No, called strike 3. Couldn't see the call there from the home plate umpire. 2 strikeouts in a row will do it, but not before the Leyendas put the first run on the board. And so they lead it 1-0. We head to the bottom of the first inning. I'll get you your lineups and Leyenda's field positioning when we return on the Legends Broadcast Network. Back inside Whitaker Bank Ballpark, Leyendas have taken an early 1-0 lead. As we head to the bottom of the first inning, here are your lineups for the home team Lexington Legends. Ben Revere is in center field, leading things off. Eric Young Jr. bats second in right field. Ivan DeJesus Jr., the third baseman, bats third. Brandon Phillips at second, batting fourth. Nick Akins, the left fielder, batting fifth. Dalton Cornett, the catcher, bats sixth. Austin Newman, the DH, batting seventh, batting eighth, and at first base, Peter Bocchino. Batting ninth, the shortstop, Devon Hairston. And batting 10th tonight for the Legends is the second designated hitter, Bud Morton. So Caven Brown, starter for the Leyendas, deals the first pitch to Ben Revere. And it's taken low in the zone for strike one. 90 miles an hour on that fastball. Great way to start things for Caven Brown. The Paris, Kentucky native, 23 years old, attended Eastern Kentucky University. As the 0-1 misses down and away, 1 ball, 1 strike. Before playing at Eastern Kentucky, Brown played at Bourbon County High School in the 1-1. This is line to left field. Elmore going after it near the corner, makes the catch on the run near the foul line, 1 away.
Murph, man.
Hey, Mike, thanks for talking directly into the crowd, Mike. We didn't pick you up at all. That's our wonderful MC, Microphone Mike. As Revere flies out to left field, Eric Young Jr. will step into the batter's box. It was a good-looking fly ball. Had a lot of carry near the corner and left, and Elmore with a great beat on it made the catch near the foul line. First pitch is taken for a strike on the outer half to Eric Young Jr. By Eric Young Jr., I should say. Young Jr. also appeared in last night's home run derby, making it to the semifinals, but being beat by Brandon Phillips as he takes one low and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Caven Brown working from straight away, nobody on the bag. Swing and a miss at a low fastball. Quickly 1 ball and 2 strikes. Young Jr., the 30th round pick by the Colorado Rockies in 2003. Spent 10 years in the major leagues. Brown with the 1-2. That's well inside, and that'll even things up at 2 apiece. Young Jr., one of his biggest career highlights was in 2013, where he played for both the Mets and the Colorado Rockies. 2-2, taken up and away, filling up the count at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Young Jr., between those two teams in 2013, led the NL in stolen bases. He had 46 of those. Lefty-righty matchup, full count. Brown from the windup, and now the pitch. Swinging a foul back to the screen. Eric Young Jr. will stay alive for one more. Our score is 1-0. Leyendas took an early lead after Aaron McGeorge gave up 3 hits in a row and walked in the first run. With the bases loaded, a great defensive play by Ivan DeJesus Jr. at third prevented run number 2 from scoring. Payoff. Taken upstairs for ball 4, Young Jr. will head to first base. So after retiring, after Ivan DeJesus retired Luke Becker at home plate on the 5-2, Sam Little struck out swinging, and Duran Elmore just barely struck out looking. So McGeorge with a shaky start in the beginning of the top of the first, and then sort of finding his stride down the stretch, especially with those last 2 outs. So with Young Jr. aboard at first base, Ivan DeJesus Jr. will take his spot on the right side. Brown deals a curveball beautifully placed on the outer half. 0-1. That nicked the edge of the zone there, and so Brown in all 3 matchups so far has been able to get ahead in the count on the first pitch, and now the 0-1 from the stretch. It's a fastball high, 1 ball, 1 strike. DeJesus Jr. was also in last night's home run derby, but Brandon Phillips beat him in the first round. DeJesus Jr. had 5 home runs, and Phillips secured his victory with only 6. The 1-1. Lifted in the air to deep right field. Little going back near the track, and he makes the catch at the wall. There's out number 2 as Young Jr. hustled back into the first base bag. So Revere flied out to lead things off to left field. Young Jr. walked, and Ivan DeJesus Jr. flied out to right field here for out number 2. And Brandon Phillips steps up. This is the man everybody has come out to the ball, that most have come out to the ballpark to see this year. Spent 16 years in the major leagues, 10 of which he spent at Cincinnati. A lot of Cincinnati Reds fans here in the state of Kentucky, especially the city of Lexington. So 2 gone, a man on first as time is called. Brown steps off the rubber, stretches out his arms, shakes out his right one, and now toes the rubber on the outermost half. Young Jr. with a very short lead off the first base bag. Webb Little there to cover as the first pitch to Phillips taken up and in for a ball, 1-0. So that ends Brown's streak of getting ahead on the first pitch. Makes a little bit of sense, as Brandon Phillips can be quite an intimidating hitter to pitch to. The 1-0. Taken outside, evens up the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Brown looking in towards his catcher, Crisp. And now comes set, drops the glove to the waist. 1-1. Swing and a miss. Got him to chase a low outside slider. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Phillips looked like he wanted that one back. He readies up. Quite an active stance. He'll adjust the helmet. Or rotating the bat multiple times as Brown readies up. And now the 1-2 pitch. One's taken just high. Breaking ball. We'll even it up at 2-2. Leyenda's lead here in the bottom of the first, 1-0. Aaron McGeorge walked in the first run of the game after loading the bases on 3 straight singles. Brown looks back to Young Jr. at first. He's got a short lead off the bag. Now the 2-2 to Phillips. Taken just outside, a fastball 92 on the gun. But it missed. 3 balls, 2 strikes. No vacancy in the count. As Caven Brown, the EKU native, hunches in towards Crisp. Crisp sets up inside. And now the payoff to Phillips. Young Jr. goes. It's skied in foul territory down the first base line. Phillips begins to battle as he stays alive for one more pitch on a foul ball. Phillips, of course, won the home run derby here last night, beating Drew Ellis by 1. His total in the championship round was 20. Ellis with 19. 3-2 as Brown steps off to wipe the sweat from his brow. He's back on the outermost half of the strip. 3-2, Young Jr. goes. Ground ball left side. Clay Camp with the glove. He sets and throws to first on the bounce, but in time. And so Young Jr. stranded along the base paths. 1-0 Leyendas. We go to the top of the second inning. Back in a moment on the Legends Broadcast Network. Back inside Whitaker Bank Ballpark, top of the second, starting here in just a moment. Andrew Murphy with you, and I'm joined by the president and owner of the Lexington Legends, Mr. Andy Shea. Andy, how are you, pal?
Murph, man, I'm doing good. I appreciate you having me up in your lair.
Absolutely. I mean, I have no choice. You texted me earlier, you said, hey, I'm coming up here. So I was like, oh, great, absolutely.
Yeah, classic move. You invited me, but I appreciate the humbleness.
Oh, man. Colin Luty, the shortstop, will lead things off. Here in the top of the first, and the first one to him, up and in. 1 ball, no strikes.
I meant to bring you some ice to ice you down after those workouts last night.
Oh, yeah. It was the first workout I've had in about, 6 years or so. And so, Andy had me do a push-up contest during the home run derby as that one's fouled back. It's 1-1.
You had a good showing.
I did have second. Yeah, had a good showing. So I think the totals were Sip, the bench coach for the Legends, had 30, and I had 14. And so I thought about it, before I went to bed last night, and I said, well, think about his path to where we are. 1-1 misses outside, 2 balls and a strike. He's spent more than his life than I have of mine training to be an athlete, yeah? And so I think given those circumstances, I think a score of 14-30 puts us pretty much neck and neck. 2-1 on the way, down and away.
Cup is half full type guy. I appreciate that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You did finish second, though, so, that's nothing to scoff at.
If you're not first, you're last.
All right.
In the words of Ricky Bobby. 3 balls and a strike to the righty Luty, and the pitch from McGeorge. Taken outside, it's a 5-pitch walk to the shortstop from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Colin Luty.
Feeling good after the foot race, though?
No. No, I felt terrible last night. I can't say I feel worse tonight, but I definitely, I don't know, man. I got to hit the gym or the treadmill or something.
I was trying to think what would have been a good third physical fitness activity.
First pitch taken on the outside half for a strike to Ronnie Engelman, the second designated hitter tonight. Again, our lineups are a bit weird. Each team batting 10 players just to give some guys who haven't played a lot some reps, as this is grounded to short, over to second for one, and over to first two, a double play. Engelman grounds into a textbook 6-4-3. Clear the bases and put 2 outs on the board here in the top of the second. Leyenda's leading 1-0 over the Legends.
Well, and here's the other thing that's been fun about this league in particular is that while it is unbelievably high-level baseball, the fact is that we put it together at relatively short order. So we're not necessarily governed by any type of baseball rules. So when it comes to a game like tonight and having some fun and getting some guys some extra ABs.
Liner up the middle into the glove of Brandon Phillips. He caught it, dropped it right into the bare hand grasp, and a swanky out number 3 on that liner from Cole Sturgeon. We go to the bottom of the second. Leyendas go down in order. Legends back up to bat. They trail 1-0. Back inside Whitaker Bank Ballpark, Leyenda's up 2-0 1-0 rather, against the Legends as we enter the bottom of the second inning. Andrew Murphy with you alongside Legends president and owner Andy Shea. Nick Akins leading things off after the Legends went down in 4 in the bottom of the first. Akins made it to the semifinals of the Home Run Derby last night, and he dances at one on the well inside. There's a breaker by Caven Brown. Backed away, dancing in an interpretive fashion, and the count moves to 1 ball and no strikes.
How do you think you do against Akins in a push-up contest?
Oh, how would I do against Akins in a push-up contest? What kind of question is that, Andy? Grounder to third base, over to first. Textbook 5-3 will put out Nick Akins, 1 away.
You saying you think you'd take that one?
No, gosh, no.
I thought you were just getting warmed up last night.
Get more, yeah, I mean, look, I went into the week maintaining a steady diet of raw eggs and C4 protein powder. I didn't even put the protein powder in water or anything. I just ate it with a spoon. Here's the lefty Dalton Cornett, the first pitch to him. Broken bat, ground ball, left side, bobbled by Claycamp. He gets the throw on to first. No. So Cornett beat out the throw, shattered his bat on a ground ball to the left side. There was an error on the transfer by Sam Claycamp. And so Cornett is aboard with one away here in the bottom of the second.
It's a good thing for Cornett. He's a man who's never has a shortage of bats. Makes them himself.
Not in the not in the slightest, yeah. Yep. Cornett, one of the most accomplished high school players in the Appalachian Mountain region. That's of all time. Now, he played at Alice Lloyd College, but back in high school when he was a senior, he batted .536. The first one taken by Austin Newman inside, 1 ball, no strikes. He led the squad in several categories, 45 hits, 5 triples, 6 home runs, 25 stolen bases. 1-0, popped up. This is playable. Crisp throws the mask, heads down to first base line, and the rawhide meets the mid, 2 gone. So with Cornett at first base, Newman pops it up to record out number 2 here in the bottom of the second. Legends trailing 1-0 against the Leyendas. And Peter Bocchino at first base tonight will step into the box on the right side. Andy, I'm curious, who do you think you could take in a push-up contest? Don't say me. That's off limits.
We talking about
just,
on the field or just in general?
No, just anyone in the world. No, I'm talking on the field. Is that what's taken outside for a strike?
I'd probably say all.
All of them. That's bold.
Feeling good, Murph, man. It's been a good summer.
Make sure we're recording this. 0-1 to Bocchino. There's a tap to the left side. Scooping it up is Ludi over to first in time. No.
Legged it out.
Umpire says Little's foot was off the bag. And so Cornett advances to second base. Not sure from this angle if the throw was wide. Looked like it possibly could have been, but nevertheless, Little's foot was off the bag, and Bocchino's aboard with 2 outs here in the second.
Yeah, from my angle over here, I can see it pretty clearly.
And? What, are you just going to leave?
It was the exact right call.
He's going to leave people hanging?
It was the exact right call.
Yeah, I bet it was.
You missed that. Yeah.
First one up and in to Hairston. 1 ball, no strikes. Two men on the bags now. Cornett at second, Bocchino at first. Caven Brown, the righty from the stretch with the 1-0. There's a fastball right down the middle. 1 ball and 1 strike. Now, Hairston didn't participate in the home run derby last night, but he threw to Drew Ellis and Cole Sturgeon, I believe.
He did. That was fun. I mean, he and Drew played together at Louisville, and then, I mean, he knew Cole from the Louisville playing days. So, I mean, that was a lot of fun. I mean, the guys had told me that they had their own BP pitcher, and when Devon came out, I was like, oh, that is just really cool, really special, and obviously did a good job.
Yeah, with this being a very Kentucky-centric league, it's no surprise that these guys have seen each other before, and it must be great to be reunited with those guys, especially for Hairston.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can tell they're all just having fun and just love playing together again.
2-1, grounder left side. Ludi is there on the trim of the outfield grass and throws to third for the force out, and the inning is over. So the Legends trail the Leyendas 1-0 after 2. Top of the third coming your way in just a moment on the Legends Broadcast Network. Back inside Whitaker Bank Ballpark, Andrew Murphy and Andy Shea with you as we head into the top of the third inning. As Cole Sturgeon leads things off. Takes one down low for a strike. Take that one low and outside, evening up the count at a ball and a strike. So before we went to a break, Andy Shea, and I just want to have this on the record, that one misses inside, now 2 balls and a strike. Andy Shea said he could take anybody on this field in a push-up contest.
Because we were talking about when I was 21, right?
What about when you were 21?
I figured that's when I'd win it all.
That's when you what?
That's what I thought we were talking about with this push-up contest you were talking about.
Andy Shea has officially gone insane, everybody, and here's the 3-1 pitch from McGeorge, taken outside. 5-pitch walk to Cole Sturgeon.
I did like your strategy last night, though. Do a couple in the first seconds, wear yourself out, and then just struggle through till the end of the 30 seconds.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's kind of like the actual home run derby itself. You know, guys had 2 30-second breaks. I thought within the 30 seconds I'd give myself a 10-second break in between all
Good
the madness.
strategy.
Yeah, no, great strategy. There's a quick pick back to first. No. That caught me off guard for sure, but not the runner. Cole Sturgeon as here's first one to Luke Becker. Hard hit ground ball to the right side. 0-1.
Well, Murph, man, I'll take this time to say thank you for everything that you've done this season. You've done a great job. When we very first started talking about this league and everything, I mean, having a free stream for players, for their families, for scouts, for their teams, for everyone to look at was very important to us, and you have helped make that a reality. So thank you very much for everything you've done this season.
Well, Andy, I appreciate that, and I have, you know, you to thank as well for allowing me to come and do this and call play-by-play, whereas a lot of broadcasters didn't have that opportunity this year. Here's a ground ball to the right side. A dive by Phillips. He's up with it, and the throw to first is in time. And there's out number 1. But again, I mean, this is just this is the greatest gift I could have received all year long, just with how tumultuous it's been, not just for me, but you know, everybody. And along that same line of thinking, it just amazes me how we've got that sign out in left center field, more fans than any baseball team in 2020. That's us. We did that. And in a year where so many organizations and people have been told no, we fought the odds. We came out on top, I think.
I agree completely, and it's been a heck of a lot of fun. Built so many amazing relationships. I mean, I'll remember this team, every single person on both squads. In my mind, it's Lexington. Will remember this for the rest of my career. I mean, this has been one special season.
1-0 caught the outside corner to Drew Ellis, the right-handed hitting DH. 1 for 1 with a single back in the first. McGeorge gave up 3 of those in a row to load up the bases. And he walked in the only run on the board for the Leyendas tonight so far as they lead it 1-0 here in the top of the third. 1 man gone, 1 man on. That's Cole Sturgeon at second base. Out there on the fielder's choice, grounded into by Luke Becker. 2-0 to Ellis. Taken well outside, skips away from Cornett as he peeks back to Sturgeon at second, who had a hefty lead off the bag. If he had gotten an early jump on the pitch, I think he might have made it to third, but he'll play it safe.
Well, and rumor has it tonight that skipper of Leyendas, Eddie Brooks, is going to be taking an AB.
I heard that as well. That'll be exciting to watch.
Absolutely.
3-0. Swung on, fouled up and over the screen. And it's 3 balls and a strike.
I mean, it should be really special to him, and I hope it happens because, you know, I mean, we talked a lot about relationships both made this summer, but by all means that have been years and years in the making that have led us to here. And, I mean, he's known Aaron McGeorge for who knows how long. I mean, many, many years, way back to probably before Aaron was in high school.
3-1 lifted to center field. Revere setting up shop. He steps in, and Rawhide meets the mitt, 2 gone. They'll quickly throw that one into third to hold Sturgeon at second base. How about Revere out there in center field? He's been nothing short of a blast to watch this year.
He's a vacuum. I mean, it is just a lot of fun watching him play. I mean, you know, a lot of people use the expression, oh, he's the first one here. I think he literally is the first one here way more times than not, if not every single game.
The guy works hard.
So seeing him put in his work, take this, you know, to the most serious measure that, you know, you can, and of course seeing how he plays in the field and play, you know, at the plate, he is, I mean, it's been amazing having him here. I've known him for probably 7 or 8 years, and I mean, to be able to see him in a Lexington Legends uniform is pretty special.
Special indeed. 1-0. Driven deep to right field, nearing the corner. Sturgeon heads into third. He's heading home now as Young Jr. picks it up and quickly guns it in. There's one more run for the Leyendas. It's 2-0 as the tag on the quick throw to the infield was put on Webb Little, but it was not in time. He was back at first safely, and he's got a run batted in. Score is now 2-0 Leyendas here in the top of the third. Great piece of hitting to the right field corner by Little, and that'll bring up Sam Claycamp, the third baseman. So McGeorge with 2 earned runs on the night, and the first one nicks the corner up and away. No balls and a strike to Sam Claycamp, who his last time up got aboard on a fielder's choice. As DeJesus Jr. at third came home, threw the ball home rather, to eliminate Luke Becker. There's a breaker low and away, and the count evens up at a ball and a strike. Pretty good crowd on here for a Thirsty Thursday. $2 domestic cans, $3 Kentucky Ale products, courtesy of our good friends at Lexington Brewing and Distilling Company.
Well, we'll see how the weekend goes, but this could be the second to last game we have here this season.
Swing and a miss. There's strike 2.
You think we'll take the first 2, Murphman?
Oh man, you know I believe in us certainly, but knowing what I know about Florence, they're out here to win this season, as we discussed a short while ago.
Who's starting for them tomorrow night?
I don't know. They don't get me the starters till about an hour and a half before the game.
You just said what you know about them, so that's a little disappointing.
Well, that's what I know in the short term, Andy. 2 balls, 2 strikes now to Sam Claycamp. Andy Shea, you're a funny guy. You got a stand-up special coming out or something like that?
Just here with you, Murph, man. I appreciate it. You bring it out.
HBO Max just signed Andy Shea to a 3 special contract. So whenever his office door is closed, I can only assume that he is
working on the routine.
He's got steno pad after steno pad stacked up with the zingers. And I think primarily the reason you've been unfunny on the broadcast so far tonight is because you're saving all that material. This is a grounder just fouled down the third baseline.
Got to save the good stuff.
2 balls and 2 strikes on Sam Claycamp, who appears to have cracked his bat, so he'll trade it in for a new one down the third base line.
Well, this will be the first time up in the box in Florence for you, right?
Yes, it will. Yes, it will. I've passed by that ballpark several times on the highway. Haven't actually been inside, so can't wait to introduce myself to the front office staff and their wonderful broadcaster, Aaron Brody. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Claycamp with a runner on at the first base bag. Webb Little with a lead. Now the 2-2. Swing and a miss. No, was that tipped foul? Yes, it was. And so Claycamp alive for at least one more pitch.
Yeah, that was definitely foul, Murphy.
Yes, indeed. Sometimes you don't hear him hit the edge of the bat. Unless, of course, you're like Andy Shea here and you have pristine hearing.
Different angle, because I did.
Save it for the special, my guy. 2-2 on the way, taken low and away. Slider there from McGeorge will fill things up at 3 balls and 2 strikes.
What's McGeorge's pitches arsenal at tonight? He's got 6 different things he's throwing?
I wouldn't call it 6 different things. He certainly has the slider.
He's got his heater, slider,
curveball,
knuckleball. He's got a knuckle in there.
Does he really?
Yes.
I haven't seen the knuckler. It's because it's so erratic. Swing and a miss on the payoff pitch, and the side is retired. Strikeout number 3 for Aaron McGeorge on the night as Clay Camp bats the breeze. Landis put another run on the board. They lead it 2-0. Legends back up to bat in the bottom of the third. Goodbye, Andy. Thanks again for showing up and being such a good sport. We go to the bottom of the third. Baseball back in a moment on the Legends Broadcast Network. Back inside Whitaker Bank Ballpark, Andrew Murphy with you. Leyendas just put one more run on the board. They lead it 2-0. Legends back up to bat here in the bottom of the third. Caven Brown beginning his third inning of work. He deals the first one to Bud Morton, who swings and misses at that one. No balls and 1 strike. Bud Morton, the 10th batter tonight for the Lexington Legends. Swing and a miss at one of the dirt. It's quickly 0-2. The reason behind 10 batters, wanting to give some guys who wouldn't regularly show up on the lineup one final chance to see home plate before we head into the championship series tomorrow. So 0-2 to the lefty Bud Morton as Brown from the windup deals, and it just missed up and away. Now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bud Morton, a native of Lexington, 27 years old, attended West Jessamine High School, went on to play at Morehead State University, called strike 3 on a fastball down and in. Morton goes down in 4 pitches courtesy of Caven Brown. That's actually Caven Brown's first strikeout on the evening. That brings his season totals to 27 strikeouts. He's not inching toward the top of the leaderboard by any means, as Zach Logue pretty much has that position secured with 39 strikeouts on the season. So here's Ben Revere at the top of the order for the Legends, and the first pitch to him, taken outside for a ball. Looked like a change up there from Brown. It's 1-0. Nobody on the bags. Big gap up the middle with Revere at the plate. Land is up 2-0 here in the bottom of the third. There's another one outside, and the count runs to a hitter's 2-0. Revere is 0 for 1 this evening. He flied out to left field to get things started for the Legends in the bottom of the first. Brown kicks and fires the 2-0 pitch. Swing and a miss on an outside fastball, and there's strike one. Now Ben Revere leads the Legends in quite a few categories, including hits with 37. He's got 37 runs as well. Grounds this one just fair down the first base line. It rolls into the Legends bullpen. Revere rounding the first base bag, and he'll head into second as looked to be touched by one of the Legends relievers, and so Revere's at second base. They'll give him the single, possibly an interference call there. And that'll put him in scoring position with one away here in the bottom of the third. Revere on second base. He faced off in the first round of last night's home run derby against this guy right here. That's Eric Young Jr. And Brown taking some time off the mound to kick around in the grass. Not sure what exactly is going on down there. Seems like the home plate umpire chatting with one of the Leyenda's coaches, a player possibly. And so as Young Jr. readies up on the left side, Brown hunches in towards his catcher Crisp for a signal he likes. Working from the stretch, peeks back at Revere on second, the first one to Young Jr. It's taken high for a ball. 1-0. That looked like it was in the zone to me. The home plate umpire obviously didn't agree. Now the 1-0. Line drive, right center field rather, gets down near the track. Revere's on his way to third. He'll round the bag and head home as it's picked up in right center by Sturgeon, gunned into the infield, and Revere crosses home plate for the first run of the night for the Legends. The score is now 2-1. Eric Young Jr. now 1 for 1 with a double and a run batted in. He got on base his first time up in the first inning, was walked. So Revere comes home to score the first run for the Legends, and as Young Jr. takes the lead off the second base bag, Ivan De Jesus Jr. digs in on the right side. Open stance facing the righty Brown from the stretch with the first pitch. Misses down and away. Looked like a slider, and the count is 1 ball, no strikes. Light starting to come into fuller effect as the sun says goodbye here at Whitaker Bank Ballpark. Clock approaching 8, 69 degrees. A beautiful night for baseball here in the Bluegrass. 1-0. That's outside. It was pulled back in nicely by Crisp, and the count moves even at a ball and a strike. Good framing job there by the catcher. De Jesus Jr. is 0 for 1 as he flied out to right field back in the first inning. The 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Got him to chase early on that one that broke late. Down and away, and the count moves to 1 ball and 2 strikes. De Jesus Jr. is the son of Ivan De Jesus, former major leaguer and former Lexington Legends manager. So this season was not the first time that Ivan De Jesus Jr. has put on the uniform, as he was a bat boy here when his father was a manager. As that one dips low and away, caused Crisp to shimmy to his right to block that from rolling to the backstop and holding up Revere, or Eric Young Jr. rather, at second base. Revere, of course, came home to score the first run of the game. The score is 2-1 Leyendas with 1 out here in the bottom of the third. That one's near De Jesus Jr.'s head, up and in, and he ducked for that one. And the count moves now to 3-2. So the count is full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Caven Brown drops the glove to his waist, takes a quick look at Young Jr. on the second base bag. The payoff swing and a miss to Jesus Jr. Bats the breeze, 2 gone. Strikeout number 2 on the night for Caven Brown, extending his season total to 28. So with 2 gone and Eric Young Jr. in scoring position, he is the tying run here in this 2-1 game. Brandon Phillips will take his time to ready up outside of the box. He now digs in on the right side. Phillips has a very animated, very active stance. Likes a lot of rotations of the bat and wheels it up above his right shoulder. Ground ball left side into the one-hand grasp of Claycamp over to first. Was wide, but Little stepped on the bag in time for out number 3. So the Legends put the first run on the board and strand one along the bags as the score is now 2-1 Leyendas. Top of the 4th coming your way on the Legends Broadcast Network. Back inside Whitaker Bank Ballpark, Andrew Murphy with you as the Legends just put their first run on the board, making the score now 2-1 Leyendas. And we've got a late career Pete Rose situation at hand as Eddie Brooks, the Leyendas manager, will come up to bat here in the top of the 4th, and he takes one low and away. Infield is crept in on the grass. And here's the 1-0 for McGeorge, taken outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Eddie Brooks. There's a grounder, right side. Phillips looks banged up, but a throw to first will retire Eddie Brooks, 1 away. So 1 gone here as Eddie Brooks, the Leyendas manager, grounds out in the 4-3. And so here's Sam Little, the right fielder. Little pops this one up over the rooftop behind home plate, 0-1. Little the lefty facing the righty Aaron McGeorge, who struggled to get things started in the first. He gave up 3 singles in a row and then walked the first run of the game in for the Leyendas. That was Cole Sturgeon. McGeorge from straightaway with the 0-1. Lifted in the air to left field. It's drifting foul, and it'll drop into the stands. 0-2. Little is 0 for 1. He struck out swinging back in the first as McGeorge began to find his stride. After giving up that first run, he had some help from Ivan DeJesus Jr. at third. 0-2, misses in the dirt, 1 ball and 2 strikes. DeJesus Jr. grabbed a ground ball down the third base line. It was just fair. Flipped it around to Cornett at home plate, who was anticipating that throw, and it prevented a second run from being scored, helping out McGeorge there. And then he went on to strike out Sam Little and Duran Elmore in a row, as that one missed down and in. It's now 2 balls and 2 strikes. So righty-lefty matchup. McGeorge from straightaway with the 2-2. Swing and a miss on a changeup, up and in. 2 gone here in the top of the 4th. Strikeout number 4 on the night for Aaron McGeorge. As I said, he had 2 in a row in the first inning. He had 1 to retire the side in the third. And he's got 1 for out number 2. Still nobody on here in the top of the 4th. First one, swing and a miss by Duran Elmore. Like an outside, maybe 2-seam fastball there. Elmore, the righty, straightaway stance in towards home plate, 0-1. That's outside to even things up at 1 apiece. Elmore, the Danville, Kentucky native, is 0 for 1 this evening. He struck out looking to retire the side in the first. McGeorge kicks back, kicks up, and fires the 1-1. It's popped up, nearing the dugout down the first base line, and it will drop foul into the seats. The count moves to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Our score is 2-1 Leyendas. Here in the top of the 4th, Leyendas put 1 on in the first. And they put 1 on again in the third, as Webb Little drove in Cole Sturgeon on a single. Swinging a foul tip into the dirt. Elmore stays alive on the 1-2 for at least 1 more pitch. Tonight is Thirsty Thursday here at Whitaker Bank Ballpark. $2 domestic cans and $3 Kentucky Ale products. Gotta love that Kentucky Ale. That's brewed by our good friends at the Lexington Brewing and Distilling Company. They also make Town Branch bourbon. I like Town Branch in my old fashions. 1 ball and 2 strikes as Elmore sets up near the plate. McGeorge with the pitch. Swing and another foul. Elmore got just a piece of that one as it was fouled to the backstop. The trusty bat boy out to grab it. And he'll return it to the Leyendas dugout down the third base line. Nobody on. Slight shift to the infield to the left. Shortstop Hairston playing more in towards third and on the trim of the outfield. 1-2. Swing and a miss on a curveball downstairs. Strikeout number 5 and out number 3 in the top of the 4th. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Leyendas up 2-1 on the Legends. Back in a moment. Nick Akins Sr. will lead things off here in the bottom of the fourth inning as the Legends are back up to bat. They trail the Leyendas by the score of 2-1. Andrew Murphy with you here in the press box at Whitaker Bank Ballpark, and the first one is tipped to the screen. No balls and a strike for Akins. Akins is 0 for 1 this evening. He grounded into a 5-3 putout back in the second inning. Caven Brown, the righty, still on the mound, working from the windup, and now the 1-0 pitch. 0-1 pitch, rather. And it's taken outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Akins appeared in last night's home run derby. Was beat by Drew Ellis in the semifinal round. Here's a pop-up to first base territory. Little steps over the line, and he's there to make the catch. 1 gone. So as Little steps over the foul line down first base to make the catch, Akins is now 0 for 2, and Dalton Cornett will make his second appearance in the batter's box. Dalton Cornett out of Alice Lloyd College. The first pitch to him. Breaker missed outside. Think it got away grip-wise from Brown. Brown has been faring decently well. Here's a line drive to right field and into the glove of Sam Little on the run. Had a beat on it and put him away. 2 gone. Boy, was Sam Little ready for that one. So 2 flyouts in a row. Nick Akins popped it down the first base line. And Dalton Cornett just hit a rocket to right that was thwarted by the glove of Sam Little. And the first pitch to Austin Newman is downstairs for a ball. 1-0. Nobody on the bags. It's 2-1 Leyendas here in the bottom of the fourth. Newman the righty. Brown deals. Taking on the outer half upstairs. 1 ball and 1 strike. Newman is 0 for 1. Popped up behind home plate. Swing and a miss at the 1-1, and he's down in the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Newman, the Cincinnati, Ohio native, appeared in last night's game, going 1 for 1 with a single as a pinch hitter for, let's see who that was. Pinch hit for Nick Akins. Ground ball left side, scooped up by the third baseman Clay Camp, who sidearms it to first, and that retires things here in the bottom of the fourth. Legends go down in order, and they still trail the Leyendas by the score of 2-1. Back in a moment on the Legends Broadcast Network. Back inside Whitaker Bank Ballpark, Andrew Murphy with you as the Legends trail the Leyendas by the score of 2-1. And so the top of the fifth starts now. Leading off for the Leyendas, it's Colin Ludy, the shortstop. Ludy is not recorded an at-bat as he walked his first time up in the second, and he takes one up and in. 1 ball and no strikes. Ludy, the native of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. The righty facing the righty McGeorge, and the 1-0 misses down and away. 2 balls and no strikes. McGeorge working from straightaway with nobody on the base paths, and the 2-0 pitch. Swing and a miss at a low fastball, and the count moves to 2 balls and 1 strike. Ludy appeared in last night's game for 1 plate appearance, where he was walked and scored a run. Now the 2-1. Up and away, moving the count to 3 balls and a strike. Shift of the infield to the left. Facing out from up here in the press box as Devon Hairston is on the trim of the outfield grass near the third base bag. The 3-1, it's popped up into foul territory down the first base line. And the count is full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. The payoff pitch to Ludy. That's fouled to the backstop. It bounces off and back into the infield. And Ludy stays alive for another pitch on this full 3-2 count. Our score is 2-1 Leyendas here in the top of the fifth. McGeorge peeping out from behind the light brown glove. Kicks and fires the 3-2. It's chopped right back at him. A jog and a toss onto first base will retire Ludy for out number 1. So tonight, of course, is the 7-inning long exhibition game between the Legends and Leyendas. 1 final stash showdown before things get started in the championship series tomorrow. The first game is in Florence. And tonight's game is not necessarily deciding which of the 2 Lexington teams will advance. That's not quite how it works. Instead, it will be an all-star team put together of the best players from both rosters. And the first pitch taken low and outside by Engelman for a called strike 1. So the roster has been crafted and will be released sometime tomorrow as that one's fouled away to the screen down the first base line. 0-2 to Engelman. Engelman is 0 for 1. He grounded into a 6-4-3 double play back in the second inning. He swings and misses at that one. A drop third strike. Cornet over to first with it. And there's out number 2. There's strikeout number 6 for Aaron McGeorge. He's faring quite nicely through 4 2/3 innings here now. And a couple of innings that have been ended by a couple strikeouts in a row. It was the first and last time in the 4th. That one's low to Cole Sturgeon, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. Bobby Crisp, rather. I had to add an extra batter to my scorecard tonight. Instead of putting it on the actual card itself, I just wrote it down on a piece of paper as he took that one up and away. 2 balls and no strikes. Bobby Crisp 0 for 1. He lined out to second base back in the first as he takes one inside. It's 3-0. Nobody on the base paths with 2 gone here in the top of the 5th. And again, thanks to our PA guy, Adam, for correcting me on this one. As there's ball 4 to Bobby Crisp, and he's aboard here in the 5th with 2 gone. Correction, Bobby Crisp lined out in the second inning. Again, working with sort of a lackluster scorecard this evening, so bear with me, folks, as that one's taken on the outer half by Matt Cox. Okay, so we've got a substitution in. Matt Cox at bat in place of Cole Sturgeon. And he takes that one low for a ball, 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, thanks to a guy Adam, just to my right over here, for keeping me posted on all these substitutions. Again, trying to give as many guys as possible some at-bats tonight. Swing and a miss at that one, and it's quickly 2-1. Matt Cox, the righty, facing the righty. McGeorge looking to close things out here in the 5th. Take the Legends back up to bat. The 2-1. There's called strike 3, 2-2 it must have been. And so that'll do things here in the top of the 5th. As there's strikeout number 7 on the night for McGeorge. Leyenda's still up 2-1 as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Legends back up to bat. Back in a moment on the Legends Broadcast Network. Andrew Murphy with you as we're heading into the bottom of the 5th inning. Leyenda's on top 2-1 over the Legends. Caven Brown delivers the first one to Peter Bocchino. It's taken up in the zone for strike 1. Bocchino in his first plate appearance got aboard on an error by the first baseman Webb Little. His foot was off the bag. That one misses low. Now 1 ball and 1 strike. Bocchino, 25 years old, out of Saugus, Massachusetts. Hope I'm pronouncing that one correctly. 6'1", 225-pound righty. Swings and tips it into the glove of Crisp for strike 2. And the count moves to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Caven Brown still on the mound for the Leyendas. The 1-2 pitch, lifted in the air, line drive, left field. Elmore dives and makes the catch near the track. Nice little belly flop out there in left field by Duran Elmore to retire Bocchino on a flyout, one away. So with that Bocchino flyout to left field, here's Devon Hairston, the shortstop. Bud Morton is on deck for the Lexington Legends. He's in the 10th spot this evening. The rosters have been increased to give more guys at-bats at the end of the season, and the first one taken outside by Hairston for strike one. Caven Brown working from the windup, kicks back, kicks up, and deals the 0-1. That one misses outside, pops out of the glove of Crisp, rolls to the backstop, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Hairston grounded into a 6-5 fielder's choice to end things in the second, and the 1-1. It's a fastball, 91 on the gun by Caven Brown, taken upstairs for ball 2. Nobody on the bags, 1 away. Slight shift. Scratch that. No shift on the infield. Straight away outfield. Clock approaches 8:30. 2-1. Taken outside for a strike. 2-2. Hairston, a native of Lexington, Kentucky. Attended Tates Creek High School, home of the Commodores. Ready's up in a straightaway, shoulder width stance in the 2-2. Line foul, and over the rooftop down the first base line. He'll remain alive for at least one more pitch. The score is 2-1 Leyendas on this thirsty Thursday. All domestic cans tonight are $2. $3 Kentucky Ale products, courtesy of our friends at Lexington Brewing and Distilling. That one's taken inside. An off-speed pitch will move the count to 3 balls and 2 strikes to Devon Hairston. Hairston last night wore the collar. Or not last night, in his last appearance, rather. 0 for 3 with a strikeout. This one's popped up over the rooftop behind home plate. Still 3 balls and 2 strikes. So after tonight's 7-inning contest, Legends and Leyendas will lay their heads to rest in preparation for Game 1 of the championship series between Lexington and Florence. Tomorrow, here's a chopper to the left side. Shortstop Luty with the glove on it, and a quick throw to first is not in time. Missed on the bounce there by the shortstop, and Hairston is aboard. Going to give him the single. And so there's Hairston's first hit of the night, and his 25th on the season. So with Hairston on the bags now at first base and 1 away, Bud Morton will step up to take a stab at Caven Brown. Brown with 2 strikeouts through 4 1/3 innings of work now. And the first pitch to the lefty Morton, taken up and away. 1 ball, no strikes. Morton, the Lexington native, has seen the plate 30 times this season. Swung on, fouled down the third base line and into the stands. 1 ball and 1 strike. Easy there, fella. Guy in front of me almost fell over the railing. Might want to cut him off. Swing and a miss at the 1-1 on the inner half, and it's 1-2. One man on, 1 man gone. 2-1 Leyendas here in the bottom of the 5th. Bud Morton looking at a 1-2 count. Brown from the stretch, called strike 3 on the inner half. Bud Morton is retired for out number 2 and strikeout number 3 on the night for Caven Brown. Bud Morton in both plate appearances tonight has He's gone 0 for 2, both of them looking strikeouts. So Hairston will have to be patient on the first base bag. Maybe Ben Revere can do something with 2 outs. Ben Revere, known for looking up to the sky, pointing his bat upwards before setting up in an open stance on the left side. First one taken beautifully on the upper outside corner. No balls and 1 strike for Revere. Revere is 1 for 2 with a single and a run. That was back in the 3rd. He flied out his first time up in the 1st. That one misses. Tried to double up in the same location up and away, but it was in the red. 1 ball and 1 strike. Ben Revere leading the Legends in hits now with 38. Leads in runs with 38 as well, as that one skips a few feet away from home plate. Crisp was there to pick it up and hold the runner Hairston at the first base bag. Haven Brown, who just retired Morton, has 3 strikeouts on the night. He'll look to get even in this count. 2-1. Swung on, fouled away over the rooftop down the third baseline. So got even he did. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Ben Revere. Ben Revere in his last appearance on the 13th versus the Leyendas went 1 for 4, scoring a run. He struck out twice. The 2-2. Lifted in the air, foul territory, and it drops well over the triple play zone in left field. Revere will stay alive for another pitch. Our score is 2-1 Leyendas here in the bottom of the 5th. 2 gone and a man on the bags. Devon Hairston takes the lead off of first. Brown quickly peeks back, drops his black glove to his waist. Hairston goes, swinging a fly ball to left field territory, drifting foul. Third baseman Claycamp after it, and he just misses it in foul territory, and so Hairston will head back to first base. Ben Revere alive for another pitch. Tough grab there for Claycamp. Darted towards the Leyendas bullpen in left field. Initially made the catch, but the ball popped in and then back out of his glove. And so we'll do it all over again with 2-2 to Ben Revere, the lefty. The righty Caven Brown working from the stretch, and he deals the 2-2 pitch. That one's in the dirt, blocked by Crisp, and the count moves to 3 balls and 2 strikes. Hairston is the tying run on the bags for the Legends here in the bottom of the 5th as they trail it 2-1 against the Leyendas. No vacancy in the count to Ben Revere. 3 balls and 2 strikes as Brown kicks and fires. Hairston goes, swinging a drive to right field. Well, the beat on it is Little, and he makes the catch. And we are done with 5 innings as the Leyendas hold a 2-1 lead over the Legends. Back in a moment here on the Legends Broadcast Network. Back inside Whitaker Bank Ballpark. Here's a ground ball on the first pitch to the right side, bobbled by Phillips, and Sturgeon is aboard to lead things off here in the top of the 6th inning as the Legends trail the Leyendas by the score of 2-1. Andrew Murphy with you on the Legends Broadcast Network. So there's a quick out number 1 here in the top of the 6th to help along Aaron McGeorge, who besides giving up the only 2 runs in this game scored by the Leyendas, he's got 7 strikeouts and struggled to find his stride early in the first inning with 3 straight singles and walking in the first run. Then he deals a first pitch ball low and away to Luke Becker, the second baseman rather. So Sturgeon aboard on the error by Brandon Phillips. There's a pick move back to first. Did he get him? No. It's the second time tonight that McGeorge has attempted to pick off a runner at first base, and both times he's been pretty spontaneous. Ground ball past the dive of the first baseman. Bocchino rolls into right field. The Jets turn in there by Sturgeon as he rolls into third base, and advancing on the throw and called safe is Luke Becker. So they'll give Luke Becker the double as he slid into the second base bag. A well-hit zipper to the right side, rolled into right field. Must have been bobbled back there by Eric Young Jr. Cole Sturgeon got the wheels turning, rounding the second base bag, no hesitation. He was in safe at third, and so now the Leyendas trying for some insurance runs here in this 6th inning of tonight's 7-inning exhibition game. Here's Drew Ellis, and the first pitch to him. Wanted to go around, pulled back on a called strike, down and away. No balls and 1 strike. So 2 runners on, nobody gone here in the top of the 6th, 2-1 Leyendas. McGeorge working from the stretch, and the 0-1 to Ellis. That one missed a breaker, low and away, skipped away from Cornett, but he moved with it along the first base line to hold the runners at second and third base. As Ellis adjusts his white batting gloves and will now step back in. He is 1 for 2 with a single and a flyout in the first and third respectively. 1-1, swing and a miss. And it's now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ellis leads the Legends in the home run category, and I have counted him in the running for both teams because he has split time between both the Legends and Leyendas rosters. But Ellis led the Leyendas, or the Legends rather, with 9 home runs on the season. 1-2, missed down and in, just a touch on an off-speed pitch. Now an even 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 runners on, nobody gone. 2-1 Leyendas in the top of the 6th inning. Ellis readies up, calm and composed. And the 2-2. It's grounded foul down the first base line. Ellis had a stellar performance in the championship round of last night's home run derby, where he hit 19 home runs, only to be beat by Brandon Phillips, who hit number 20 with, I think, 15, maybe 10 seconds left. 2-2. Called strike 3 on the outer half. McGeorge sits down Ellis. That's strikeout number 8 on the night for Aaron McGeorge. McGeorge now with 29 strikeouts on the season. Phenomenal performance by him, first inning aside. So now here's Webb Little, who grounds one softly to third base. DeJesus Jr. goes home with it, but Cornett can't keep the glove on it. He'll quickly pick it up, and there's a rundown between first and second. There's Bocchino over to Phillips. Here's a throw home. Cornett misses it again. There's run number 2 in this inning. So DeJesus Jr. picked up the ball to try and throw out Cole Sturgeon. It popped out of Cornett's glove. Cornett quickly saw that the runner, Luke Becker, was heading for the second base bag when he threw it to Phillips. Phillips quickly turned it back around. As Becker was heading home, it popped out of Cornett's glove again. To bring home Luke Becker, and Webb Little is aboard at the second base bag as there's a business meeting on the mound. Looks like we're getting a new pitcher. And we're going to take a short break and tally up McGeorge's line score and get you info on the new pitcher. Back in a moment, 2-1 Leyendas. Back inside Whitaker Bank Ballpark as Alex Hamilton replaces Aaron McGeorge on the mound as the Leyendas now lead 4-1 over the Legends. Cole Sturgeon came home on an error by Dalton Cornett at the plate. Couldn't keep his glove on the throw from DeJesus. Here's a fly ball to center field. Revere lets it drop in front of him, and advancing to third is Webb Little. Clay Camp's aboard with a single. So Cornett quickly gunned it back to Phillips at second base to hold the runner, Luke Becker. And Phillips threw it home, got away from Cornett again to score another run. One's tipped away by Sam Little. 0-1 with one gone and men on the corners here in the top of the sixth. Hamilton deals. Ground ball, right side, could be two. Phillips with a scoop and the throw to second. Quick turnaround to first, and it's an inning-ending double play. Grounded into by Sam Little. So 4-6-3 gets the Legends out of a shaky top of the sixth inning, where the Leyendas put 2 runs on the board, extending their lead now 4-1. Legends back up to bat in the bottom of the sixth when baseball returns on the Legends Broadcast Network. Back inside Whitaker Bank Ballpark as the Legends trail the Leyendas 4-1 here in this 7-inning stash showdown at Whitaker Bank Ballpark. Here's Eric Young Jr. to lead things off. Here in the bottom of the 6th, Caven Brown still on the mound, and he deals a nice-looking slider to the inner half of the strike zone. No balls and a strike. Young Jr. is 1 for 1 with a double and a walk, and the 0-1. Taken outside for ball 2. Looked like a fastball there from Brown. Brown has 3 strikeouts on the night. He's been backed up by a stellar defense. Pop up to center field. Sturgeon with a few steps back. Now coming in from near the track, and he makes the catch. 1 away. So Young Jr. on that fly out to center field is now 1 for 2 with a double and a walk. He also batted in Revere to score the first and only run of this game for the Legends back in the 3rd inning. They, of course, trail the Leyendas 4-1 as Ivan DeJesus Jr. steps up. Right-handed hitter facing the righty Caven Brown from the windup and the first pitch. That's taken on the lower third, down the middle for strike 1. DeJesus Jr. is 0 for 2 with a flyout and a strikeout, the 0-1. Was that tipped off the knob? Yes, it was. Strike 2. DeJesus Jr., as I said, flied out to right in the first, and he struck out swinging his last time up in the 3rd. Straightaway stance. Now he opens it up and takes the ball low and away. 1 ball, no strikes. Ken Ludy says, no game last night. Announcer meant to say the last time they batted was in their last game. And you're correct, Ken. Here's a ground ball to the left side. A throw way over the head of the first baseman, Little. And so DeJesus Jr. will remove his batting gloves and head on down to second base. No game last night. Ken Ludy, you're absolutely correct. And I appreciate the feedback. Sometimes those little things can slip by us broadcasters. We thank you for tuning in, Ken Ludy, though, all the way from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 1 away and a runner in scoring position. Brandon Phillips swings and misses at the first pitch. It's 0-1. Yeah, Ken, you know, nobody's perfect, my man, including your old pal Murph here. And this guy at the plate, Brandon Phillips, but not for long. This one's launched. Get up, baby. Get up, get up, get up, get up. Gone, a home run. Brandon Phillips with a 2-run shot here in the bottom of the 6th. Closes the deficit to 1 run. It's now 4-3 Leyendas. There's Brandon Phillips with the 9th home run of the season. How about that for a late inning performance? So still only 1 away here in the bottom of the 6th inning. So following that fireworks show by Brandon Phillips, here's the left fielder, Nick Akins. Caven Brown kicks and fires the first pitch. It's inside, 1 ball and no strikes. Now the 1-0. That's tipped to the screen, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Akins is wearing the collar tonight. He's 0 for 2. Grounded into a 5-3 putout back in the second and popped up down the first base line in the fourth. And the 1-1. Taken low and inside, a breaking ball got away from Brown. Now Akins, the left fielder, is ahead, 2 balls and 1 strike. Our score is 4-3 Leyendas. Brandon Phillips launched a 2-run dinger to left field. There's another foul tip. And the count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes. The count moves rather to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two balls and 2 strikes to the righty, Nick Akins, and Brown deals. Swing and a miss at a fastball up and away. It's strikeout number 4 for Caven Brown here in the 6th, and out number 2. Akins bats the breeze, and he's now 0 for 3. And so Seth Wallingford will come in to hit for the Legends. Sam Perry, longtime friend of yours truly, says, sounding great, Murph. Thank you, Sam, as that one's taken on the outer half for strike 1. Thanks again, Sam. Sam tuning in all the way from sunny Los Angeles, California, as that one's taken inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. So 2 gone now here in the bottom of the 6th. Brandon Phillips put 2 more on the board with a 2-bomber to left, and that one's taken low and away to Seth Wallingford. Now 2 balls, no strikes. Our score is 4-3 after that 2-run shot to left. Caven Brown deals the 2-0. That's tipped to the backstop, and the count moves to 2 balls and 1 strike. Brown taking his time with the pitch, and now the 2-1. That one misses high, 92-mile-an-hour smoker, moving the count even further in favor of the hitter Seth Wallingford. 3 balls and 1 strike. Austin Newman is on deck. This one is lifted in the air to left field. Little is there to make the catch, and the inning is over. So the Legends put 2 more on the board, courtesy of a 2-bomber to left field by Brandon Phillips, the man, the myth, the legend. Leyendas back up to bat in the top of the 7th, and they lead it 4-3. Back in a moment on the Legends Broadcast Network. Back inside Whitaker Bank Ballpark as the leadoff man for the Leyendas, Matt Cox, swings and misses at the first pitch. It's 0-1. Our score is 4-3 after the bottom of the sixth, where Brandon Phillips jacked one into the left field bleachers with Ivan DeJesus on the bags, and that one missed downstairs. It's 1-1 strike. So Matt Cox at the plate. Duran Elmore has exited this game, maybe, not sure. A lot of substitutions tonight that we're having trouble keeping up with, as that one's fouled to the rooftop of the stables down the right field line. It's 1-2. So we'll see if Elmore comes back out to play in left field. But for now, let's see what Matt Cox can do with a ball and 2 strikes. Hamilton with the pitch. Swing and a miss on an inside breaking ball. 1 away. There is strikeout number 1 on the night for Alex Hamilton. And out number 1 here in the top of the 7th. Now here's Colin Ludy. That one skips away from Wallingford, and it's 1-0. Colin Ludy is 0 for 1 tonight. He walked and was stranded in the second, and he grounded out his last time up in the 5th. The lefty Hamilton deals. Swing and a miss on a low off-speed pitch. Rather a foul tip into Cornett's glove, moving the count to a ball and a strike. Our score is 4-3 in favor of the Leyendas. Here in the top of the 7th, nobody on the bags with a slight shift to the infield to the left. The 1-1 to Ludy. Swing and another foul tip. No, it was a swing and a miss on an upstairs fastball. Now 1 ball and 2 strikes to the Milwaukee native. Beautiful night for baseball. The temperature has dropped to 66 degrees as the 1-2 swing and a miss. Colin Ludy goes down. Strikeout number 2 for Hamilton, and his 2nd in a row here in the 7th inning. Faring nicely. He has found his stride after inheriting a pretty bad situation pitched into by Aaron McGeorge to give the Leyendas a 4-1 lead then. Was cushioned by a 2-run shot to left field by Brandon Phillips last half inning. Now here's the DH, Ronnie Engelman. First pitch to him, he dances back one time for that. 1 ball, no strikes, as that was low and in. Engelman is 0 for 2. He grounded into a 6-4-3 double play, and he takes one outside for a called strike 1. Engelman, his last time up, struck out swinging. That was the 6th of the night for Aaron McGeorge, who exited this game with an impressive 8 strikeouts. Now Hamilton with the 1-1. Bender found the lower third, and it's taken for a called strike number 2. Nobody on the bags, 2 gone here in the top of the 7th. Hamilton with the 1-2, swing and a miss. It's 3 up, 3 down for Alex Hamilton to bring the Legends back up to bat for their final chance to tie it or come up with a win. 4-3 Leyendas. Back in a moment. Back inside Whitaker Bank Ballpark, Andrew Murphy with you as we roll into the bottom of the 7th inning. Here in this 7-inning exhibition game between the Leyendas and the Legends. Legends trail the Leyendas by the score of 4-3. And in the bottom of the 6th, Brandon Phillips closed the deficit with a 2-run bomb to left field. Joe Crisp replaces Caven Brown and deals one inside to Austin Newman. Newman, the righty, facing the righty Joe Crisp out of Sumter County, South Carolina. One's grounded violently down the third base line, rather, and the count moves even at a ball and a strike. Crisp, in his last appearance on the 12th versus the Legends, went 1 inning, no hits, no runs, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout, the 1-1. And there's a bender dipped low and away, now 2 balls and 1 strike. Crisp in total has 11 1/3 innings under his belt with 17 hits, same amount of runs, 15 earned. He deals one inside, moving the count to a hitter's 3-1 to Austin Newman. Season total 8 strikeouts compared to 9 walks. 3-1 taken inside, and it's a 5-pitch walk to Austin Newman. And what is that ungodly noise here so late in this game? Might be one of those hand clappers in the team store. Thought we marked those down and got rid of them a couple weeks ago. But alas, they're still available for purchase. So it's a 5-pitch walk to Austin Newman to get things started for Joe Crisp here in the 7th, and he'll now face Peter Bocchino. Bocchino takes just outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Bocchino got aboard on an error his first time up in the 2nd and flied out to left in the 5th. 1-0, misses down and away, skips away from Bobby Crisp behind the plate, and Newman is aboard at 2nd on the pass ball. So nobody out now, a runner in scoring position. The tying man for the Legends, Austin Newman, as they trail the Leyendas 4-3. 2 balls and no strikes. Joe Crisp, the righty, slowly drops his glove to the chest, and the 2-0. Taken for strike 1 and off speed down the middle. 2 balls and a strike. Bocchino gives the plate a tap. He's got a nice 2-toned maroon barrel, black handled bat. Appears to be made by the Rawlings Company. Runner on 2nd teasing a steal, and the 2-1. Skips away from Crisp, and on his way to 3rd is Newman. The tying run is 90 feet from home. So Bobby Crisp can't keep him blocked with Joe Crisp on the mound. Popped up, shallow center field. 3 men going after it. Second baseman Becker was past the second base bag to make the catch for out number 1. Sometimes you've got to evacuate your position. Becker did just that, playing where the shortstop usually plays. And he retired Bocchino on that fly ball. So here's Devon Hairston, the righty. Austin Newman waiting at 3rd base. Got to 2nd on the pass ball and got to 3rd in a similar fashion. First one taken upstairs and away by the righty Hairston. Four to 3 Leyendas here in the bottom of the 7th, rather. Tying run for the Legends, 90 feet from home. Joe Crisp kicks and fires from the stretch. It's taken on the outer half. A slider for strike 2. Strike 1, rather. One ball and 1 strike, I think. Now the pitch. Taken inside, called strike 2. Hairston walked his last time up. That was in the 5th, and he grounded into a 6-5 fielder's choice to end things in the 2nd. And now the 1-2. There's a bloop shot into the glove of the third baseman, Clay Camp. He'll head to first with it, but the tying run scores as there's now 2 gone here in the 7th. So Newman comes home to tie it up on the fielder's choice as Hairston is put away on the 5-3. Instead of a bloop shot, it was chopped high in infield territory. Clay Camp had the beat on it and put the throw to first base on the run, and so 2 gone. With Bud Morton at the plate, and he takes for ball 1. Bud Morton is 0 for 2 this evening. He fouls that one off the mask of the catcher, Crisp. And the count is 1-1. Morton, as I said, 0 for 2 on a pair of strikeouts, 1 in the 3rd and 1 in the 5th. Both of them he was caught looking. Crisp from the windup and the pitch. Taken low and in. 2 balls, 1 strike. Morton, the lefty, readies back up. He's playing close in towards home plate as Crisp deals the 2-1. Taken on the inside for strike 2. Our score is 4-4 here in the bottom of the 7th in what was supposed to be a 7-inning game. Bud Morton can't do anything here. We'll go to extras. That's taken high and away for ball 3. No vacancy in the count. I'm just learning there will be no extras. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to Morton, and now the pitch. That's line foul down the third base line and well over the triple play zone and left. Joe Crisp taking his time with this one, now deals the 2-2. That's taken up high for ball 4. Morton heads to first base for the first time this evening. So with Bud Morton aboard at first, Ben Revere steps up for the 4th time this evening. He's at the top of the lineup for the Lexington Legends. We are tied up at 4. If Revere records an out, we will not go to extra innings and call this exhibition game a draw. Lefty-righty matchup as Crisp comes set. Glove at neck level. He drops it to the lettering on his jersey. The first pitch to Revere, taken low and in. Morton's headed for second. He's rounding the bag, but he'll hold up there. 1 ball and no strikes to Revere. Morton is the winning run for the Legends. Revere is 1 for 3. He flied out twice, once in the 1st and again in the 5th. He takes one on the inner half. 1 ball and 1 strike. Joe Crisp deals the 1-1. Outside, missing the zone. 2 balls and 1 strike now to Revere. Revere's only hit of the night was a single in the 3rd. He got to second base on a ball that drifted into the Legends bullpen. There's a called strike 2 on the outer half. 2 balls and 2 strikes. We are tied up at 4 with Bud Morton, the winning run on the second base bag. He's got a hefty lead. Joe Crisp working from the stretch, comes set with a pitch he likes. And the 2-2 on the way. Chop to the left side. Clay Camp with the glove on it over to first in time, and that'll do it here at Whitaker Bank Ballpark. No extra innings in this tied exhibition game. 4 apiece. And so with that, both teams will prepare for the first game of the championship series beginning tomorrow in Florence. I'll be on the radio call with you. First pitch is at 6:45. It'll be an all-star team of Lexington players versus an all-star team of Florence players. We'd like to thank everybody here in the press box for their hard work tonight. So this one is tied at 4. And until tomorrow evening, this is Andrew Murphy saying so long and have a pleasant tomorrow.